Roblox is a video game that has become a global cultural and economic institution. As a publicly traded company with a valuation that has soared past $40 billion, it has reshaped the landscape of video games for an entire generation of children and adolescents. It was built on the promise of a user-powered metaverse where imagination was the only limit. The platform hosts millions of experiences created by its own community, attracting over 85 million daily active users. This vision of a boundless digital playground is built upon a deeply and disturbingly flawed foundation. Roblox's success is linked to a series of design choices and a corporate philosophy of growth at all costs. And this has led to systemic failures that have been present since the platform's inception. What enabled Roblox's explosive growth has created a ground for child endangerment, labor exploitation, and predatory monetization. This is the dark history of Roblox. Let's get spooky. Hey, spooky people, it's your best friend Kenny, and we are back with another spooky and disturbing story. Before we get to today's video, let's make sure that you subscribe to this channel, The Spooky Lawyer. Let's make sure that you like and share this video. Share this video on Roblox, because why not? Roblox began as an educational tool. In 1989, co-founders David Baszucki and Eric Castle developed Interactive Physics, a two-dimensional physics simulation software designed for educational use. This program was created under their company, Knowledge Revolution. It was a controlled, predictable environment where students could learn about physics principles through experimentation. After selling Knowledge Revolution to MSC Software for $20 million in 1998, Baszucki and Castle gained senior positions but eventually departed. Baszucki in particular began investing in early social media websites like Friendster, which exposed him to the power of network communities. This experience, as well as their background in physics simulation, sparked the idea for Roblox, a platform that would merge a 3D physics sandbox game with social networking and user creation tools. The vision was to create a space where users could consume content, but also build, play, and share their own interactive 3D worlds. In 2004, Baszucki and Castle founded Roblox Corporation and began development on a project initially called Dynablocks. The name was a combination of dynamic and blocks, and it emphasized the program's core mechanics of physics-based building. The early versions were simple. The avatars were not yet animated, and the features were very basic. The game was tested by a small group of developers, investors, and friends of the founders. In 2005, the game rebranded to Roblox, a combination of robots and blocks. Roblox officially launched to the public on September 1st, 2006. The game was designed to rely entirely on user-generated content, with the company providing the creation tools, called Roblox Studio, and the server infrastructure necessary for users to build and host their own games. The decision to build a platform based on unvetted, user-generated content was a departure from the founders' background in creating controlled educational software. This was a shift from a curated model to an open, decentralized one that externalized the labor and cost of content creation onto the user base, or the people playing the game, while internalizing all the profit for the corporation. Kind of a smart idea. You get rid of the labor and you keep all the money. It also externalized the primary responsibility for the nature of the content being created. And this decision is the root of nearly every controversy that has plagued the game. Roblox has had persistent moderation challenges with the proliferation of inappropriate content and the exploitation of developers. But these are not bugs. These are features of the system that Roblox chose, creating a structure where the company's financial success is completely reliant on its users generating the content. Unlike many tech startups that experience immediate explosive growth, Roblox's early years were characterized as a slow bake. The initial user base was small, and the platform's growth was steady but not spectacular. Baszucki and Castle initially created their own games, such as paintball simulations and haunted houses, to showcase the platform's abilities. However, by 2008, the company made another decision. It stopped creating its own games entirely and became completely dependent on the creativity of its community. Roblox had to figure out how to make money. Early monetization strategies were introduced to build a virtual economy. In 2007, the company launched the Builders Club, which was later called Roblox Premium. This is a subscription service that granted users additional benefits, such as the ability to create more games and sell virtual clothing. They also developed a dual currency system consisting of Robux, which could be purchased with actual money, and tickets or Tix, which were earned through daily logins and other activities. This economic framework was combined with the powerful and accessible Roblox Studio, and it empowered a generation of young creators and laid the groundwork for the platform's future growth. Beginning in the mid-2010s, Roblox transformed from a niche platform into a global phenomenon. This rise was driven by a confluence of decisions and external trends that created powerful growth. A central component was the platform's free-to-play model. This removed the initial cost barrier and made it highly accessible to its core demographic of children and teenagers. The accessibility was amplified by a strategic expansion across multiple platforms. It was initially a PC-only game, then launched on iPhone and iPad in 2012 and Android in 2014, followed by Xbox in 2015 and PlayStation in 2024. This made the platform available on virtually any device a child might use. As this was happening, the rise of video game streaming and influencer culture provided powerful organic marketing. Popular YouTubers such as Dan TDM and Ethan Gamer TV began creating content featuring Roblox games, exposing the platform to millions of young viewers and driving massive waves of new users to the site. The platform got these users to stick around from its ability to serve as a social platform, a virtual space where users could hang out, connect with friends, and build communities. And this social dimension was compelling. By 2021, an estimated 2.5 billion text messages were being sent on the platform daily, facilitating millions of new relationships. The COVID-19 pandemic acted as a massive accelerant for Roblox's rapid growth. As lockdowns and school closures confined millions of children to their homes, Roblox became a primary venue for play, socialization, and entertainment. The platform's user engagement and revenue skyrocketed during this period. By the end of 2021, the company reported that an average of 49.4 million users logged on each day, and it had become an empire built on the creativity and labor of minors. The period of hypergrowth cemented Roblox's position in the market and also magnified the inherent flaws in its model. The features that drove its success, like the unrestricted social interaction, the endless user-generated content, and a massive influx of young users, are the same features that created problems for child safety and exploitation. The company focused on scaling its user base and capitalizing on the pandemic-driven surge, which created a powerful incentive to prioritize engagement metrics over addressing these massive problems. And former employees have said that this was a deliberate choice. They've said that Roblox executives consciously decided against implementing stronger parental controls and other safety mechanisms because doing so would have negatively impacted user growth and engagement metrics, the numbers that they would use for their upcoming public offering. Roblox's explosive user growth was mirrored by the company's corporate expansion. Roblox Corporation began attracting significant investment, securing an $82 million funding round in 2017 led by Meritech Capital Partners and Index Ventures. This money fueled international expansion. The company also made acquisitions to bolster its technology, purchasing mobile network optimization developer PacketZoom in 2018 and 3D avatar company Loom AI in 2020. This period of fast corporatization culminated on March 10, 2021, when Roblox Corporation went public via direct listing on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticket symbol RBLX. The initial trading gave the company a staggering valuation of $41.9 billion, placing it among the most valuable video game companies in the world, and surpassing industry titans like Activision, Blizzard, and Nintendo. Becoming a publicly traded company increased the pressure to maintain growth. Now that Roblox owed a duty to shareholders, Roblox's success was measured quarterly by its ability to increase revenue. This created a causal chain. The corporate imperative for market dominance and shareholder value directly incentivized the continued neglect of the platform's disturbing underbelly. The safety and ethical problems were a tolerated and possibly even necessary byproduct of a business model engineered for maximum growth at all costs. Beneath the colorful, blocky aesthetic of its virtual worlds, Roblox has harbored a dark and persistent reality as a hunting ground for child predators. The platform's design combines a massive young user base with largely unmoderated social features. This creates an environment ripe for grooming and exploitation. The scale of the problem has been shown by many criminal cases. Since 2018, at least 30 individuals have been arrested in the United States alone for charges relating to abducting or abusing children they first groomed on the Roblox platform. Some of the specific incidents are horrible. In 2022, a 13-year-old child was kidnapped after being coerced by a man she met on Roblox to sneak out of her house. Organized online exploitation groups have been found operating on the platform, using it as a venue to identify and groom vulnerable children. A common tactic employed by predators is to initiate contact with Roblox's in-game chat and then quickly move the conversation to third-party platforms like Discord or Snapchat. This allows them to evade Roblox's chat filters and engage in more explicit and coercive communication, often using intentional typos or emojis to share contact information without triggering automatic detection. The migration to other platforms is a key element in a lot of these lawsuits, which argue that Roblox serves as the initial point of content and therefore is responsible for the subsequent harm. The platform's reliance on user-generated content has been exploited to create and distribute a wide range of harmful material that easily bypasses the company's moderation systems. There is a particularly notorious category of inappropriate content called condo game or virtual sex clubs. These are user-created experiences designed to facilitate virtual sexual role-playing between avatars. Despite being in direct violation of Roblox's policies, these games have been difficult to get rid of and are often easily accessible to underage players. Creators of these games employ sophisticated evasion tactics, such as designing them to look like innocuous spin-offs of popular games like Adopt Me, and keeping them online for only a few hours at a time to avoid detection by moderators. Beyond the sexual content, Roblox has also become a venue for the spread of hate speech and the glorification of real-world violence. A 2025 CBS News investigation into the popular game Spray Paint, an experience that has over 1 billion visits, found that players could easily bypass moderation by using the in-game graffiti tool to create hateful messages. The investigation documented dozens of swastikas, racial slurs targeting Black and Jewish people, and other disturbing words and references scrawled onto virtual wall. The anti-defamation lead reported that one group on the platform has repeatedly created games that simulate school shooting, consistently evading takedown efforts. This is a systemic failure to prevent the platform from being used to traumatize players and promote extremist ideologies. There is a disconnect between Roblox's public statements on safety and the reality of its enforcement. The company claims to have the stringent safety and monitoring system and employs thousands of human moderators who take swift action against policy violations. However, independent research and investigative journalism have repeatedly shown how easily these systems can be circumvented, exposing a troubling gap between policy and practice. And what's even more disturbing is the company's aggressive response to community members who attempt to expose these safety failures. Rather than embracing these individuals as partners in making their platforms safer, Roblox has used its considerable legal resources to silence them. This suggests that Roblox has a corporate strategy focused on controlling the public narrative around safety by punishing its critics. For example, Roblox filed a $1.6 million lawsuit against YouTuber Ben Simon, known as Ruben Sim, accusing him of leading a cult-like cybermod and making terrorist threats after he publicly reported on child safety concerns and alleged predators on the platform. Recently, in August 2025, the company issued a cease and desist letter and an IP ban to another user, Schlep, who was known for conducting sting operations to expose alleged online predators on Roblox. These legal actions make it clear to the community that actively exposing safety flaws will be met with severe legal retaliation. This discourages community-led policing that could help protect children. It indicates that the company may view the exposure of its safety problems as a greater threat to its business than the problems themselves. This stance was further underscored by tone-deaf statements from CEO David Baszucki, who in March 2025 advised concerned parents, "If you're not comfortable, don't let your kids be on Roblox." Such comments show a defensive posture that deflects responsibility rather than addressing the platform's flaws. The heart of Roblox's economic model is the Developer Exchange Program, or DevEx, which allows creators to convert the virtual currency, Robux, earned from their games into real-world money. It was marketed as a way for young game makers to turn a hobby into a career. The system has drawn intense criticism for what many describe as an exploitative economic structure that uses child labor. This argument centers on the lopsided revenue share. Investigations have revealed that creators receive only a small fraction of the money their games generate. A report by YouTube channel People Make Games alleges that developers ultimately receive a cut of less than 25% of their game's revenue. This rate is drastically lower than the industry standard set by other platforms like Valve's Steam, which offers developers a 70% cut, or the Epic Game Store, which provides an 88% share. Roblox justifies its large take by citing the cost of providing server space, marketplace infrastructure, and cross-platform capabilities. However, for many developers, this justification does not square with the system. For every dollar a player spends in the game, they receive less than 20 cents. Making the issue worse is the process for cashing out. Developers cannot withdraw their earnings until they accumulate a maximum of 100,000 Robux. This creates a massive barrier for smaller creators. Further, the exchange rate is bad. While it costs a player approximately $1,000 to purchase 100,000 Robux, a developer cashing out the same amount receives only $350 from Roblox. This structure creates a walled garden economy that incentivizes developers to spend their earnings back in the Robux system by advertising their games or buying virtual items than actually taking the money out of the game. And the developers are a largely unregulated force composed largely of minors. While almost half of its users are aged 13 or under, many of the platform's most successful creators are teenagers. These young developers often work without formal contracts, parental consent, or any form of support or guidance from the Roblox Corporation. A report in The Guardian detailed the story of Anna, a teenage developer who found herself earning a six-figure income from her game but was entirely dependent on the unregulated benevolence of her adult project leads for payment, with no formal protections in place. This is a lack of oversight that has led to accusations that Roblox has built its multi-billion-dollar empire on the creativity and uncompensated labor of children. The exploitative system for creators is mirrored by a predatory monetization strategy aimed at players, who are, again, primarily children. Roblox's business model is designed to maximize in-game spending through a series of sophisticated psychological tactics. The core strategy is the use of virtual currency, Robux. By converting real money into an abstract digital currency, the platform creates a psychological disconnect that makes spending feel less tangible to young players. This is combined with tactics designed to create urgency and drive impulse purchases. Limited time events, exclusive virtual items, and collaborative branded content create a sense of artificial scarcity and capitalize on a child's fear of missing out. These monetization schemes create behaviors that are strikingly similar to gambling. A 2025 study from the University of Sydney found that children struggle with the platform's complex and deceptive spending features, with some participants describing them as scams, cash grabs, and literally just child gambling. Despite bans in some regions, loot box style mechanics that often offer randomized rewards for a price persist in popular games on the platform. This monetization model creates significant social and financial pressures on both children and their families. Within Roblox's social ecosystem, a user's status is often tied to their avatar's appearance and the virtual items they own. Children without premium items or subscriptions may face social exclusion or teasing from their peers, creating intense pressure to spend money to keep up. And this can place a financial strain on families who face constant requests for Robux and must navigate the difficult social dynamics their children face online. The exploitative DevEx programs for creators and the predatory monetization system for players create a self-reinforcing loop designed to maximize value for the Roblox Corporation. The extremely low payout rate of DevEx program places immense financial pressure on young developers, incentivizing them to implement the most aggressive and psychologically potent monetization schemes available on the platform. These schemes then target the platform's core demographic of young players who are most susceptible to them. Roblox profits at every stage of the cycle, taking a large cut of the initial Robux purchase from the player and then paying out at a minuscule fraction to the developer, who was driven to aggressive monetization by the unfavorable system in the first place. The platform's economic model effectively pits its young creators against its young players in a cycle that benefits only Roblox. The failures in child safety and the ethical questions surrounding its economic model have resulted in a significant number of lawsuits from families, consumer advocates, and shareholders, creating a multi-front legal battle that threatens its reputation and financial stability. The most severe lawsuits are the child safety and negligence lawsuits. Families across the United States have filed suits alleging that Roblox's platform enabled the grooming, sexual exploitation, and in some cases, the abduction of their children. High-profile cases have been filed in states including Michigan, California, North Carolina, Alabama, and Florida. The core allegations in these cases are that Roblox was negligent in its duty to protect minors, that its platform is a defectively designed product that facilitates predatory conduct, and that the company engaged in consumer fraud by misleading parents about the safety of its platform. Many of these lawsuits also name other companies like Discord as co-defendants, arguing that Roblox served as the initial point of contact where predators identified and groomed victims before moving to less moderated platforms. Roblox is also facing legal challenges related to its economic practices. A class action lawsuit was filed in 2023 alleging that Roblox, along with other sites functions as an illegal gambling ring that specifically targets minors through its virtual currency and trading systems. Other lawsuits allege that the company deliberately designed addictive features to maximize engagement and spending among children, leading to development and behavioral problems. Also, a proposed class action lawsuit accuses Roblox of violating the Child Online Privacy and Protection Act, COPPA, by secretly harvesting player data from its largely minor user base without proper parent consent. This flood of lawsuits has been accompanied by increasing scrutiny from governmental regulators, both in the United States and internationally. In the United States, attorneys general began to launch their own investigations. In June 2025, the Florida Attorney General's office initiated a probe into Roblox's child safety practices, issuing subpoenas for internal documents related to its moderation policies and its methods for monitoring content and accounts that children interact with. In August 2025, the Louisiana Attorney General filed a child protection lawsuit alleging that Roblox prioritizes profits over child safety and has failed to protect its underage users from harmful content and predators. At the federal level, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has opened an investigation into Roblox for what is currently an undisclosed reason. The regulatory pressure is not confined to the United States. Several countries have taken the drastic step of banning the platform entirely. Turkey banned Roblox in August 2024, followed by Qatar and Kuwait in August 2025. This international backlash demonstrates a global consensus among regulators that the platform's safety measures are inadequate. In response to this legal and regulatory onslaught, Roblox Corporation has adopted a defensive posture, relying on legal protections and implementing safety updates that critics argue are reactive rather than proactive. The company's primary legal shield is Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, a U.S. law that generally protects online platforms from liability for content posted by their users. Roblox has consistently argued that it is a platform, not a publisher, and therefore cannot be held responsible for the actions of the millions of users who create and interact on its site. In the face of mounting public pressure, Roblox has also rolled out a new series of safety features. These include enhanced parental controls, messaging limitations for users under 13, and mandatory content maturity labels for games. The company also hired Dr. Elizabeth Malavidov, a former executive for the Lego Group, in May 2025 to lead its parental advocacy efforts. However, critics and child safety advocates has dismissed these measures as too little too late. They argue that these updates are a direct reaction to the wave of negative press and litigation, rather than a genuine proactive commitment to child safety. For the many families whose children have already been harmed, these belated challenges don't do enough to address the years of negligence that continue to make the platform a high-risk environment. The history of Roblox is a story of incredible success shadowed by profound and disturbing systemic failures. It's a game that's born from an educational vision of creativity and simulation that evolved into a multi-billion-dollar empire by capitalization on the boundless imagination of children. The disturbing history of Roblox is the predictable and tragic outcome of its core business model. A unvetted user-generated content pipeline combined with an exploitative economic engine, all scaled to a massive vulnerable youth demographic with incredibly inadequate safeguards. The question is whether Roblox can ever be made truly safe. Will the mounting external pressure force a redesign of its safety protocols and economic systems, making the company to prioritize the protection of children over profits? Or will Roblox continue its pattern of reactive incremental changes, doing just enough to appease regulators while preserving the core model that has been proven both incredibly lucrative and incredibly dangerous? I suppose we'll find out. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel, The Spooky Lawyer. Make sure that you like and share this video. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and TikTok. My username is The Spooky Lawyer. If there is a spooky or disturbing story you would like me to cover, or if you like the video, leave a comment. Tell me about it. Or if you're feeling shy, send me an email. My email address is thespookylawyer@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the channel, you can make a donation. There is a link in the description to buy me a coffee, so you could buy me a coffee. Or you could become a member of this channel. For the $1.99 tier, you would get access to exclusive content, including exclusive videos, and early access to all of my videos. I appreciate you considering this. I'm going to put the names of all the people who have donated to this channel here. Thank you all very much. I'm going to put the names of all of the members of this channel here. Thank you all very much. You also support me by continuing to click like, share, and watch my videos. And it really means a lot to me that you watch my videos. And please stay spooky.